Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Saturday evening, October 26, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the weather has been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any other related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the US National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather look. And we can see that we now have an area highlighted across the southwestern Caribbean right there to the south of Jamaica as of their latest update that just came out at 7:23 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 6:23 p.m. Jamaica time. So this just came out about an hour and almost 10 minutes ago. And according to the Hurricane Center, let us read what they've stated. They've said a broad area of low pressure is likely to develop over the southwestern Caribbean Sea around the middle of next week. Some gradual development of this system will be possible through the end of next week, while it meanders or drifts northeastward over the southwestern Caribbean Sea. And we see that they've given it a 0% chance of cyclone formation within the next 2 days, that's the next 48 hours. And a 20% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. They're stating that it could meander, meaning that it might go up and drift or this or that. Either way, they stated that it might go to a northeasterly direction. Who knows, maybe towards Haiti, the Dominican Republic, or maybe it goes northeastward and curves closer to Jamaica right here. We have to pay close attention to what the models are showing over time, because we see that they've been continuously changing, and we're going to be looking at the latest run from the Euro, and then we're going to be looking at the latest run from the GFS to see what changes have taken place. We're going to be focusing our attention at the timestamp right here at the top. We're just going out to the next 7 days, the next 168 hours, and we're also going to be focusing our attention across the Caribbean. And just for reference, we have Jamaica right here. Alright, so as we go out in time, we still see that we're going to be plagued with this frontal system. We see the line of showers associated with it, and we also saw the bout or the abundance of heavy rainfall that took place across northern Jamaica today, just as predicted. We even had a lot of flash flooding taking place. As a matter of fact, a video just came out on our other social media platforms highlighting the amount of rainfall that took place in St. Mary that caused a vehicle to be washed away, and it came on TVJ News. If you haven't seen that as yet, go and check it out. Unfortunately, someone did die, a taximan died, passengers injured. Check it out. It is on our other social media platform, Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, all at Weather Jamaica. All the links are in our description for this video. Alright, so if we go out in time to the next 168 hours, we still see that even as we head into Sunday, there's still a lot of moisture coming into portions of Jamaica, especially from the northeast on the north coast for sure. As we head into Monday, still have a lot more rainfall to receive. We see the greens, the dark greens and the yellows as well, that represents what, anywhere from 2 all the way up to 5, maybe even 6 inches of rainfall. That's just ridiculous amounts of rainfall. We see even into Tuesday and Wednesday, there's still going to be a lot of moisture, lots of rainfall. Thursday, we see somewhat of an L right there across the southwestern Caribbean. Maybe the area of low pressure trying to get this act together. Either way, as we continue to go out in time, as we wrap it up right here at the end of the 168 hours, which is actually 12:00 on Saturday, November 2. That's 7 a.m. actually. We see the area of low pressure right there in the far southwestern Caribbean. We also see another area of low pressure right here to the north of the Leeward Islands. Definitely going to be interesting to see exactly what unfolds. Either way, when we take a look at the GFS, we see that yes, we still have a lot more rainfall to receive tonight into tomorrow, especially on the north coast. As we go out in time, we see the moisture starting to build right there to the south of Jamaica, across the southwestern Caribbean, to the east of Nicaragua. Lots of rain. Look at all of the yellows, oranges, reds that represents up in there to what? All the way up to 12 inches of rainfall. If that actually occurs, that's ridiculous rainfall amount. We see the air of low pressure starting to bubble up right here across the southwestern Caribbean. We see all of the isobars. We see an air of low pressure. Something is definitely going to be trying to get its act together down there. But we see that we still have some things to work out. We still have some contrast, some differences. The euro on Saturday, November 2, has the system right here across the southwestern Caribbean. Not much development, not many isobars, 8 millibars in terms of the intensity. Look at the GFS, definitely a stronger system, maybe tropical storm, if not a low-end hurricane. 983 millibars, lots more isobars, lot more moisture, heavier rainfall, and we also see the differences in the location again. It's more to the north of Colombia on the Euro model. On the GFS model, north to the north of Panama on the Euro model. On the GFS model, it's more to the north of Colombia right here. So we see the differences. On the Euro, to the north of Panama. On the GFS, to the north of Colombia. We see that there is some proximity, but we still have some differences to work out. But one thing is for sure, there's going to be an abundance of moisture somewhere to the north of the Leeward Islands. We see it on both maps for sure. Even getting an air of low pressure right there to the north of there. Definitely some kind of broad spinning. The main takeaway from all of this is that we're going to be in for a lot of rainfall. We see the abundance of greens. We see the abundance of yellows, oranges, reds. And we see that on both the Euro and the GFS models, even although the GFS has been more robust for the past week, we still see that we're going to be in for a lot of rainfall, and the accumulated precipitation forecast maps confirm this. First of all, we must highlight the fact that both the Euro and the GFS models are definitely in agreement about all of the rainfall that's expected from now up until Saturday, November 2. For a portion of northeastern Jamaica, look at all of the purples, the pinks, the salmon colors right there. And we see that on both the Euro and the GFS model. So the rain is not over yet for those persons who live on the north coast, anywhere from St. James eastward, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, section of St. Thomas getting in on the mix. And we know that some of this rainfall can definitely spill into portions of St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth for sure, especially during the afternoon hours. So please ensure that if you're living on the north coast, try your very best to turn around, don't drown when you come upon flooded roadways. We can also see the abundance of moisture that's expected from the system right here across the southwestern Caribbean. Look at all of the rainfall that's expected for eastern Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, sections of Colombia, and we see that on both the Euro and the GFS models. GFS definitely a bit more robust with all the blues in there. That represents anywhere from 12 all the way up to 20-25 inches of rainfall. The GFS has been more robust for the past couple of days, but we see the consensus definitely coming in on both maps for portions of Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula, Guatemala, Honduras, even portions of the northeastern Caribbean, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands, eastward, St. Martin, St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, getting in on some of that. Lots of rainfall coming in general, and that is the main takeaway, even if we don't get the next name on the list, which is Patty. Alright, let us take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening. We can see a ridge of high pressure right here across the southeastern United States, another ridge of high pressure right here to the northwest of Africa, and we know all of these ridges are responsible for sending all of these systems from east to west. All of these easterly trade winds are brought about by the ridges of high pressure, and within these easterly trade winds, they have the tropical waves moving from east to west. One tropical wave right here to the east of Jamaica, not strong though. Another tropical wave right here across northeastern South America to the east of the Windward Islands. Another tropical wave right here to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands. And we still see the line associated with that frontal system that is stalled out and has been plaguing portions of the Greater Antilles. And we're still going to be in for some more of that even as we head into Sunday. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can definitely make out all of the clouds associated with the frontal system. Here we have it stretching all the way down into portions of the Greater Antilles, including Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Eastern Cuba, Jamaica getting in on some of the action as well. We can actually make out some of the rainfall that has been plaguing portions of the Windward Islands and northeastern South America associated with that tropical wave. We can also make out the tropical wave associated with the intertropical convergence zone for sure right here across the southern portion of the main development region. It's now to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands, and we can definitely see that it's definitely being sheared off towards the northeast by all of that upper level wind. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean today later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Saturday, October 26, 2024. It was stated that rainfall was in the forecast for parts of northern Jamaica last night into the morning of Saturday, October 26. And we were also expecting rainfall for southern Jamaica, parts of some southern parishes during Sunday afternoon. And just for reference, we know northern parishes, we're talking about those parishes on top, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. While southern parishes, we're talking about those parishes on the bottom side of the island, like Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Thomas. And what ended up happening? As early as 10:30 p.m., as a matter of fact, as early as the video that was being made yesterday, we were getting in on that rainfall for northeastern parishes, Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, definitely getting in on some heavy rainfall. At that time, the Cuban Doppler radar images were posted, and they highlighted the greens and the yellows that represents the moderate to heavy rainfall. Even as we headed into 10:30, we were still being plagued across the northern portion of the island with some amount of rainfall for sure, some of which spilled into sections of some southern parishes like northern Clarendon, northern St. Catherine, northern St. Andrew, section of northern St. Thomas got in on the mix as well. And we even got a lot of thunder last night as well. Lots of lightning, quite the lightning show last night for sure, because all of that rainfall definitely popped up and developed across the northern portions of the island. Lots of thunderstorm activity taking place for sure. And we can see that even as we headed into this morning, another post was made here on our Twitter page. By the way, I'd like for you to keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica, but they're also made on our Instagram page at Weather.Jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there, as we may post throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So the visible satellite imagery was posted this morning, 7:01 a.m., highlighting the clouds, still bringing overcast skies and isolated showers to sections of northern Jamaica for sure. Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, Trelawney, St. James, definitely getting in on the mix of rainfall. Some of this rainfall even spilling into sections of some southern parishes, but it was more so overcast skies, if not sunny weather, for most of the southern parishes this morning. Then, as the day progressed, 9:15 a.m., another post was made highlighting the infrared. We don't normally see thunderstorms in the morning for northern Jamaica, so this was quite the sight to see. In the morning, we definitely were getting in on some thunderstorms across portions of St. Mary, section of St. Anne. Look at the high cold cloud tops as represented by the blues, the greens, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the blacks, and the sparkling white dust that we know represents some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. So we're definitely getting in on some of that thunderstorm activity last night into this morning for sure. And then another post was made at around 1:35 p.m. highlighting the visible satellite images. Look at all of the thunderstorm affecting not only northern parishes but even sections of some southern parishes as well, to confirm what was predicted for the southern side of the island for the afternoon. We see the sparkling yellow dots that we know represent some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes, that took place not only across northern Jamaica but even into portions of southern Jamaica, sections of St. Elizabeth, sections of St. Catherine, section of Kingston, St. Andrew definitely got in some of the thunderstorm activity during the afternoon as well. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can definitely make out all of the clouds. We can definitely make out the flow. That flow definitely coming in more so from the northeast today. Then we had all of the air piling up across section of southern Jamaica. We had the air piling up across northern Jamaica as well, with all the thunderstorms for sure. And if we take a look at the infrared satellite images before all was said and done with the day, we can see that before all was said and done, things are actually starting to clear out. That's what we want. We don't want to be getting too bad that we have floods and mudslides, even although we did indeed get on some of the flash flooding today, but at least it's starting to cool down for now. We can even make out some thunderstorms right here across the waters to the south of St. Thomas. And if we actually take a look at See Jamaica's YouTube channel, this is showing halfway through at around 1:22 p.m. today. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to see more live streams like this, just visit See Jamaica on YouTube. They show live streams of Crossroads, the Flatbridge, Barbican, the Kingston Harbor, you name it. And they're planning on increasing the amount of cameras that they have in and around the island. So subscribe today so that you don't miss out. So we can see that as of 1:22 p.m. we're definitely getting on some moderate to heavy rainfall, lashing portions of halfway through. We can definitely see that flow of the rainfall coming in more so from the north for sure. People walking with their umbrellas over here. Also see these vehicles with their windshield wipers on for sure. Definitely some moderate to heavy rainfall lashing the corporate area today, just as predicted, especially during the afternoon, 1:23 p.m. just as predicted. And if we take a look at the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, this map does indeed paint a picture of where we had the rainfall throughout the day across northern parishes for sure, during the afternoon across southern parishes, so northern St. Thomas, section of Kingston, St. Andrew, sections of St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth got in some of the rainfall. Even although this map isn't 100% accurate, because I know you might be looking at this and be saying, but I didn't get rain today on the south coast, but it does paint quite a picture of where we had the rainfall for the most part. And there are some places that got even more rainfall than this, some places that even got less rainfall than this. So we're indeed grateful that we have this nice tool from the CIMH to use. And we definitely have some confirmation from some of our subscribers on our YouTube page about the rainfall from last night into this morning. We had Burns Bernard on our YouTube page stating rain in Lawrence Tavern. Cardette Anderson, good night, lightning, thunder, and heavy rain in Portland. Michael Masters 8479 stating, bro, lightning flash pan JPS wire in front me yard. Loudest thunder in my house vibrate about 1 minute. That's crazy. We even have O'Neill Clark 8494 stating, awesome lightning show last night. Another post right here from Neil Davis 671 stating, good morning, still getting heavy thunder even now. And we have Sadie James -R3P stating, thank you for your daily report, you're welcome. Today it rained heavily in Kintyre and the Papine area starting around noon. We received a significant downpour. I managed to complete all my chores before the rain began. That's very good, Sadie. If we take a look at our followers' comments on our Twitter page, we had the Sugstar stating a lot of lightning and thunder just outside Linstead. This was posted 21 hours ago, so more than like last night. El Maquito stating light showers in Montego Bay. Weather.stats stating heavy showers here in northern or northeastern St. Anne. with a little lightning, and we can even see a picture that he posted here, he or she posted here, not sure. We can definitely see that it's definitely raining there for sure. Nice image right here showing the overcast skies and the rainfall for that parish. And as stated, there is a video that just came out on our pages. It was recorded from TVJ News, highlighting the fact that a taxi driver washed away at a ford in Hopewell St. Mary today because of the heavy rainfall. Guys, I cannot stress enough how important it is to always turn around, don't drown. I take public transportation myself, and I wouldn't want to be in a situation where there's flooding taking place and the taxi driver wants to chance it with me. If you see that the water is a bit too much for you, turn around, don't drown. It doesn't make sense you try to brave it and drive through. There's absolutely no rush to be getting your life taken. Turn around, wait it out. As a matter of fact, if it was me in that situation, I would definitely turn around. I would definitely come right off, because I wouldn't be taking that kind of chance with my life at all. These situations can turn deadly, and so it did. The taxi driver died, and unfortunately the passengers are in the hospital. Hopefully they make it through. We don't hear about any more deaths. If we take a look, we have another comment coming in here from Doreen Pindling, stating heavy showers in Galena and Port Maria, St. Mary since last night. Jennifer Colleen Speed stating, I'm in Ocho Rios and it has been a storm since last night. It's still storming. And then finally we had Chelsea posting a video here highlighting White River in Ocho Rios. Let us see what was posted in the video. Can definitely make out some flooding for sure. Just a short 3-minute clip. Thank you very much for this. We can definitely see the inundation. So we're actually getting into that time of year where the north coast gets the most rainfall, and I'm going to be explaining in a little while why that is. We have some more comments coming in here on our Facebook page. Anisha Seymour Strachan stating heavy rain in Southeast St. Mary. Cicely Jones stating raining heavy in Arcabessa St. Mary. Dwayne James raining from yesterday afternoon until now in Ochi non-stop. Sophia Stevens raining heavily in Arcabessa St. Mary. Esther stating St. Mary, lots of rain since last night. Thunderstorm too. Carrot Bailey non-stop in St. Catherine. Sylvia Bando rain. And thunder for hours now in St. Anne. So that indeed confirms all of the rainfall that was predicted in yesterday's video. And if we take a look at the very latest still image from the Weather Nerd site about what's happening across the island, we definitely heard some thunder about a good 30 minutes ago in my area in St. Thomas. We see some clouds right here across the Blue Mountains, I'm sure, if not the John Crow Mountains. We see some clouds right here as well across sections of Portland. But let us see what's happening on the Cuban Doppler radar images. Let us match those clouds to what we're seeing on the Doppler. So we can definitely kind of make out some rainfall somewhere across St. Thomas right there. Maybe northern St. Thomas. We see the greens, we see the yellows. Maybe some of that rainfall into portion of St. Andrew as well. And this is as of the latest image that just came out at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 7:50 p.m. Jamaica time. So this image just came out 4 minutes ago. Can definitely make out some greens that represent some isolated showers across maybe portions of St. Andrews, portions of St. Thomas, the waters to the south of St. Thomas as well. And we can see the clouds across the waters to the south of St. Thomas too. So this indeed confirms what we're seeing right now on the satellite image. If we take a look at the Guantanamo Bay Cuban Naval Radar Station, we can see some rainfall across portions of the western peninsula of Haiti, some rainfall between Jamaica and Cuba right there. Taking a look at the Cayman radar, not seeing much for the Cayman Islands, just some isolated shores right there to the south and to the west of there, as well as to the east of there, closer to Jamaica. And if we take a look at the flat bridge cam, not seeing much taking place right now. Definitely dry as we speak. Most of the rainfall was on the north coast, not necessarily where the real Cobra is located in northern St. Catherine, because if it was, we would definitely have a lot of rushing water as we speak. Water not looking too bad right now. People in their vehicles going about their business for sure. Definitely seems to be fear for right now, but who knows, that could change as the night progresses, as we continue to be plagued by the frontal system. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can see that we have 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and we also see that we still have that northeasterly flow plaguing the island tonight. So we could get in on some more of that rainfall across northern Jamaica for sure. As we get into 4 a.m. on Sunday, temperature should dip down to about 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston. If we take a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is valid for 18Z on Sunday. When calculated, that's 1 p.m. on Sunday. And we can see Jamaica right here for the most part embedded in some slight yellow colors. And we can see from the key on the right, the yellow colors are representative of at least 1 degree Celsius above normal temperatures. And we know the normal temperatures for the month of October across Jamaica are around 89 degrees Fahrenheit. 89 degrees Fahrenheit when calculated is about the same as 31.6 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 31 to 32 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Sunday. And we know the drill when it comes to the heat. We have to try to beat it. And what better way to do that than to check in on others, including children, elderly people with medical conditions, and pets. Eat fresh fruit. You can't go wrong with grapes, apples, watermelon. And always rest. Make sure you get enough sleep and rest if you're feeling tired. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to always stay hydrated throughout the day. Drink lots of water. Put down the sugary drink. Drink water instead. If we take a look at the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Sunday, we can definitely make out some of the dust coming into portion of the central and western Caribbean right here, but nothing too significant. It's more on the lighter shade of brown side. We know that doesn't do much for us. What does much for us is the darker shade of brown, and we don't see much of that at all. We see some brown across the main development region, but that's nothing. What we don't want to see is the very dark shade of brown. The very dark shade of brown, we know, can cause very hazy skies, not to mention trigger some amount of respiratory illnesses in some persons, from asthma, sinusitis, you name it. And we don't want that. And we've been liking the fact that as much as we've been getting some Saharan dust pushing from east to west across the main development region into the Caribbean, most of it by the time it gets here or into the Western Caribbean, it has dwindled down or dissipated. And that's what we want. We don't want any Saharan dust making us sick at all. And we can see that for 2 p.m. on Sunday, the Eastern Caribbean getting somewhat of a break. The Northeastern Caribbean, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic getting some slight dust, but that won't even be noticeable. Jamaica right here, maybe the southeastern side might be getting some of the slight Saharan dust. Nothing significant, nothing even noticeable. If we take a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can still see that the lowest wave should be across the waters of the Gulf of Mexico into the Caribbean. We see anywhere from those lighter shades of blues to darker shades of blues that represents anywhere from 0.5 meter wave height all the way up to 1.5 meter wave heights. While we still have those purples to the north of Panama, to the north of Colombia, to the south of Jamaica. That we know represents up to 2 meter wave heights. And that's because the winds, for the most part, across the Gulf of Mexico, the western to the eastern Caribbean, should be averaging anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15, maybe even gusting to 20 knots in some spot. And wherever we have the yellows, like right here to the north of Panama and Colombia, right here across the waters to the west of Jamaica, that's where we're going to be flirting with some 20 to 25 knot winds in the yellows. And we see the general direction for these winds from the east to the western Caribbean should be coming in from the east, across the northwestern Caribbean from the northeast for the most part. Even portions of Jamaica getting in on some of that northeasterly flow. And it's the windward passage that we have to blame for all of this northeasterly flow and the rainfall, that moist northeasterly flow. And we're still going to be in for some of that tomorrow. kind of looks more east northeasterly than northeasterly. Either way, we know what's going to be taking place. More rainfall for northern parishes tonight into tomorrow, and then where we have the least amount of wind on the south coast, that's where we're going to be having that daytime heating rainfall, where all of those low level clouds coming in from the northeast are going to become mid-level rain clouds, if not upper level cumulonimbus clouds. So look out for more afternoon rainfall if you're living on the south coast, more so central and western parishes during the afternoon. And I'd like to touch a bit about why this kind of flow is very significant, that northeasterly flow in terms of rainfall, especially across Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, northeastern parishes in general. And we're going to be seeing a lot more of this as we head into the winter. Right now we're in autumn. Winter begins, I believe, December 21. This is what's taking place. And this was what took place today, and this is what's going to be taking place most of winter. This is what we refer to as relief rainfall. So we're going to be saying we're looking towards the east. Let's say we're on the border of, let's say, Clarendon and St. Anne, or St. Catherine and St. Anne, and we're looking to the east. More than likely, this would be the Blue Mountain Peak. The left-hand side would be the north coast. The right-hand side would be the south coast, looking towards Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas. The north side would be looking towards, let's say, St. Mary, Portland. Now, with the northeasterly winds that we just saw, we would have all of that evaporating, all of that warm moist air from the northeast definitely rising and forming clouds. And all of these clouds, especially when they get into the inland areas, especially where we have the tall mountains, all of this air cools and condenses, forming clouds, and that's where we have a lot of rainfall, a lot of precipitation. And then usually the southern side is the rain shadow, is the dry side, and that's usually what takes place during the winter. That's why we have our dry seasons in December, January, February, March, especially for the south side, when we're normally hearing that, oh, Portland and St. Mary are washing away. This is the kind of rainfall that they're getting, and it's because of frontal systems, just like the one that we mentioned that we saw on the surface map yesterday. It was definitely more so across the Greater Antilles. Now it's more so to the north of Hispaniola, but it's still there. We saw the clouds. We still have a lot more of this kind of activity to receive tomorrow. So there's definitely a lot more rainfall in the forecast for northern Jamaica, given the relief rainfall that is expected. And even the upper level winds are going to be in favor of the north coast. We see more of a southwesterly kind of flow across the island, bringing more of those high cold cloud tops off towards the northeast than anything else, keeping that rainfall across northern parishes. And if we take a look at the actual rainfall forecast maps now, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both valid for 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, which is actually 9 p.m. Jamaica time. So about an hour from now, considering that it's 8:04 p.m. right now, we see the blues that represent rainfall for portions of St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, section of St. Thomas. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS malls are in consensus with this. Even some greens in there, even more rainfall on the GFS. Definitely a lot of rainfall in the forecast, and it's going to be taking place tonight into tomorrow. Look at this, even as we head into 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 5 a.m. Jamaica time, we still have some blues that represent rainfall plaguing portions of St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, Eastern, St. Thomas on both the Euro and the GFS malls. GFS definitely a bit more robust with these darker shades of blues, these greens. As we head into about 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 9 a.m. Jamaica time, we still see that rainfall across a portion of northern Jamaica. St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, still getting in on that rainfall for sure. You are trying to incorporate more southern parishes, but I don't believe that. We're working with the consensus. Then afternoon hours now, this is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 1 p.m. Jamaica time. We still have a lot of rainfall out to sea right there to the north of the island. But look at what we're seeing now. More rainfall across sections of mainly central and western parishes. And we see the bias for the rainfall across portions of some mainly southwestern parishes, maybe sections of Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, considering the air is going to be piling up down there. But I'm not shocked that we're going to be getting more of that rainfall across central and western Jamaica, given the southwesterly upper level flow that we're going to be getting. So it's going to want to keep more of that rainfall inland and keep more of the overcast skies and the rainfall across northern Jamaica for sure. So the rainfall forecast for tomorrow and tonight is for rainfall tonight across sections of northern Jamaica, as well as on the morning of Sunday morning. And then afternoon rainfall for sections of some central and western parishes during Sunday afternoon, mainly across sections of central and western parishes. Even although we know that Kingston and St. Andrew are in the eastern sections of the island in the county of Surrey, we can still get on some of that rainfall for sure. And even as we head into 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's tomorrow night, which is actually 10 p.m. Jamaica time, look at the Euro and the GFS. Definitely in consensus that the waters to the west of the island are going to be getting some tremendous rainfall. Look at the greens, the yellows, the oranges on both maps. And we also see some rainfall in store for northeastern Jamaica still. So section of St. Mary, Portland might still be getting in on some amount of isolated showers. And even the accumulated precipitation forecast maps are in consensus that it's going to be raining, especially across northeastern parishes. We can definitely see sections of Portland, St. Mary, sections of St. Thomas getting in on that up to an inch in terms of the accumulated precipitation rainfall totals in the res that we can see by the key on the right. GFS still being more robust with all of these purples. That represents up to 3, maybe even up to 3.5 inches of rainfall across sections of Portland for sure. We see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus that northeastern Jamaica should be getting on the most rainfall within the next 24 hours. Keeping in mind that both of these maps are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Sunday. Not saying that's going to be raining from now up all the way until then. But these are the spots that are going to be picking up the most in the way for rainfall. And we already have that rainfall plaguing portions of the island even as we speak. We see the clouds. We see the rainfall. And as bad as the rainfall can be, we're grateful for it. We like the cool down. We can't take the heat sometimes. And it's better to have rainfall than none at all to keep water in our pipes for the longest while. We don't need any droughts right now. Clearly in the month of October we usually receive the most rainfall across Jamaica. In Kingston, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the top, we usually receive up to 170 millimeters of rainfall. That's about 7 inches of rainfall. In Montego Bay, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the bottom, we usually receive up to 8.5 inches of rainfall. That's about 212 millimeters of rainfall. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to find out what your specific parish receives throughout the year, you can visit this website right here. That's www.weatherandclimate.com to find that information out. And you can use this nice little graphic right here that converts rainfall from inches to millimeters. We know rainfall is measured on the rain gauge, and we know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall, so you can do the calculations yourself. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, portions of Hispaniola, Jamaica, definitely being plagued by the clouds of that frontal system. So too section of Puerto Rico, so too section of Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula, Honduras, sections of northeastern South America, the tropical wave, Guyana, Venezuela, section of Colombia, getting on some of the action too. And if we take a look at the northeastern Caribbean's Doppler radar images, let us see what's happening down there near Puerto Rico. So as of right now, not seeing much taking place. We do see some isolated hit or miss showers to the north of the island, some isolated showers to the east of Guadeloupe. If we take a look at the images from earlier today, we can see that we definitely had some rainfall from east to west all across Puerto Rico. More so isolated spots, some rainfall across sections of the Dominican Republic as well. Nothing too significant at all across the Leeward Islands. But if we take a look at the Barbados radar, we can definitely see some isolated showers. Look at all of this rainfall right here in the blues and the greens coming in from more so from the east and pushing towards the west. Kind of looks like an east northeasterly to west southwesterly flow in a sense. Either way, some of this already been affecting portions of Barbados. Some more of this expected tonight. We can definitely see some of it coming into portions of Martinique, sections of St. Lucia, sections of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, section of Grenada getting in on some of the action as well. Scrolling down, let's see what's happening across Trinidad and Tobago. We see some isolated showers to the east of there, nothing too significant, some rainfall passing through Tobago right now. And if we take a look at the weather view of Doppler radar images, we can see all of that rainfall that we just mentioned across portions of Central America, the Yucatan Peninsula, northern Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, sections of the waters to the east of Nicaragua. We can see some rainfall across sections of central Colombia right there and northeastern Venezuela. And regarding where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, we know the greens to the yellows to the oranges represent anywhere from 0.2 all the way up to 0.75 for an inch of rainfall. The reds represent anywhere from an inch onward, upward, maybe into the purples that represents the 3 inches of rainfall. We can definitely see that there's consensus for a lot of rainfall across portions of Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize, Guatemala, the Yucatan Peninsula, section of El Salvador getting in on the mix. We can also see some rainfall in store for section of the Bahamas, Cuba, the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, section of Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. We can also see some rainfall in store for Guadeloupe and the area south of there. Not seeing much for the Leeward Island, but section of Dominica, Martinique, section of some Windward Islands right here, like Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago getting in at the mix, some isolated shores in store for portions of Guyana, Venezuela, Western Venezuela, Colombia as well. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus with this forecast. I know that when they're in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.